Hello and welcome to Nkuma's Online Academy. In today's lesson, we want to look at family health and we want to study the following under the topic: meaning of health, meaning of diseases, meaning or types of diseases, pathogens, kinds of pathogens, vectors, and disease prevention and control. Now, meaning of disease. Let's talk about the meaning of health. Health simply means the state of wellness in the body, in the mental, in our mental and our emotion, the the state of mental, physical, and emotional well-being, or when we don't have any sickness in our body, we say that we are healthy. So health talks about the well-being of the mental parts of our body, our emotional parts, and our physical parts. Or we also say that that health means the absence of diseases in our body. So these are different ways we can talk about disease. We can talk about health. Now, disease, on the other hand, means the abnormal states of the body. When our body is not in the right state, we say that we have disease. A body is supposed to be in a balanced state, and if there is any imbalance in our body, it often results to or gives us some signs and symptoms that shows that some things are not balanced in our body, and in that state we say that we have disease. So disease talks about the state of abnormality of the body, abnormal state of the body. The state of abnormal state of the body is what we call disease. Now we have two types of diseases. We have communicable disease and we have non-communicable disease. Now, communicable disease, let's start with communicable disease. Communicable disease is a disease form that can spread from one person to another person. So if you come directly in contact, or in some of them indirect contact, with someone that has the disease, it can transmit from the person to you. What we mean by direct contact is that the two bodies come in contact, like person A has the disease, then another person B come in contact or touches the person will get the disease. Now, in indirect contact, the person that has the disease can touch something and the disease will spread to person B when the person touches the thing that first person touched. Like if someone has COVID-19 and a person uses something and you or another person that does not have the COVID-19 disease touches that thing and without proper body hygiene, the person may be able to get it even without touching the person that has the disease directly. So by using what the other person is using, you will be able to contact the disease. So that is what we call indirect contacts of the communicable disease. Now, examples of communicable diseases are measles, COVID-19, Lassa fever, there's one we call scarlet fever, and so many others. Now, communicable diseases are also called infectious diseases. Now, let's talk about non-communicable diseases. Non-communicable diseases Non-communicable diseases are the ones that cannot spread from one person to another. They are also called non-infectious diseases like typhoid, like malaria, like dysentery. These cannot spread from one person to another person. So they are called non-communicable or non-infectious diseases. Now let's have a summary of what we have talked about. Now, health. We say that the health is the state of physical, mental, and emotional well-being, and it also means the state at which someone is not having any sickness or disease. Someone is said to be healthy when he or she is not suffering of any disease. Now, disease, what is disease now? Disease means the abnormal state of the body, and diseases are often identified by their symptoms and signs. When the body has disease, when there is a disease in the body, it always comes through signs and symptoms. There are signs and symptoms that our body gives to us to show that we have disease inside our body, and the signs and symptoms may include cough, pain, dysentery, and others. Now we have two types of diseases. We have communicable disease and we have non-communicable diseases. Communicable diseases are the ones that can spread from one person to another person, and they are also called infectious diseases. Now, examples of communicable diseases are measles, smallpox, chickenpox, whooping cough, diphtheria, influenza, Ebola, Lassa fever, scarlet fever, and COVID-19. Now we also have non-communicable diseases, that is the ones that cannot spread from one person to another person, and these include, they are also called non-infectious diseases, and they include cholera, dysentery, typhoid, malaria, appendicitis, goiter, arthritis, cancers, pie, etc. So these are non-communicable diseases, and we have looked at the meaning of health in this lesson, meaning of diseases, signs and symptoms, which we said are identifiable, or the things that help us to identify the presence of diseases in our body. Then we've looked at common signs and symptoms of diseases. We've also looked at the types of diseases, the communicable and non-communicable diseases, and examples of communicable and non-communicable diseases.